Before we moved on to Rangers there, I didn't get a chance to read out some of the comments regarding Martin O'Neill. If you guys are okay, I'll throw a few of them at you. David Beattie says, "At last the Messiah's come back, this time given the contract he wants. He clearly wanted to stay the last time. We'll let him know now." This one here from Paul Brady says, "After everything, if the board failed to back Martin O'Neill, the fallout on the club would be nuclear."
Agreed.
David Hoop says you want a striker.
More nuclear.
David Hoop says you want a striker that gives us 10, 15 goals for the rest of the season. Kev points out Martin O'Neill knows that XG is crap and doesn't mean anything. David Gillespie says Celtic should go and get Lyndon Dykes on loan. The big guy would jump at the chance.
By the way, that is not the worst suggestion in the world. I know there'll be some Celtic fans out there that would turn their nose up at that. I think Lyndon Dykes is an excellent guy to lead the line. I think he'd be a better version of Adam Ida. And I think with a World Cup place to play for, I think he would jump at the opportunity to come back and put himself right in the shot window in front of Steve Clarke. If Lyndon Dykes come up the road and scored 10, 15 goals for Celtic and put them at a title, then he's really walked his way into the argument about who starts for Scotland in the first game of the World Cup.
I like big Lyndon Dykes. He scored 2 goals all season, Keith. 2 goals this season.
Yeah. Well, he's not been getting a regular start, has he?
No, but you're crying out for some that previous message. That's bang on. Certainly, the guy can go in and score 15 goals from now until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Do you not think Lyndon Dykes could do that, Mike?
Do you think he could do it? I don't think he's ever been a prolific natural goal scorer. I think he would create goals for others, but I don't think he's a penalty box predator that Celtic need. But listen, I don't think.
I tell you what, he'd give them physical presence, which is something they're crying out for as well.
Listen, I totally agree with that. Listen, whoever it is has to be over 6 foot. That's for sure. Because Celtic don't have any physical presence in either box, really. I just think it's a tricky one for Celtic because 15 goal strikers in 6 months aren't grown on trees and they cost a lot of money. I suspect what they'll do is, I think what they might be doing is banging doors down in England and asking for a loan signing. Some kid that scored 15, 20 goals for the 21s in the English Premier League kind of level. Now that kind of development league, I don't know. That to get a loan deal, I imagine it'll be a loan deal for this time of year. It's a difficult. Listen, everybody wants a goal scorer. Everyone.
Listen, I see this, and there's a comment there. Dykes' goal scoring record is poor. Yes, I get it, but he's not been playing centre forward for Celtic. Lyndon Dykes is, how many chances is he getting created for him? He's been struggling. It's been a grind for him down there. You put him at the top end of a Celtic side that's creating chances. Lyndon Dykes guarantees you goals, in my opinion.
Fair enough, fine.
So, why would you not going to go and get Lawrence Shankland?
Yeah, well, because Hearts won't sell.
Cat amongst the pigeons.
There's that as well, but...
well, you tell me, see if Celtic went in and went, there's 5-6 million. I'm not saying they would.
Hearts won't sell.
No chance, no?
Not a chance.
No, they couldn't, not at this stage. They couldn't.
Not a chance.
No, they couldn't.
And by the way, for the very same reason that we've just been talking about Andrew Kavanagh and the opportunity he's got, dig into his back pocket, speculate to accumulate. What would be the logic behind Hearts having just got him tied up in a new contract, selling him now when there's the potential for, and I know that Hearts they don't have the coefficient points behind them to go straight into the Champions League. But even just to get into these qualifiers and all that, I think Tony Bloom, if somebody stuck an offer on his desk, I think he'd just put a big red line through it and throw it in the bin.
I'll just finish in these comments, guys. Marzuno says it would be dinosaur extinction meteor level if the players don't come in, and Martin O'Neill will get zero blame. Sean says Martin O'Neill's going to win the league, ride out into the sunset as a bigger legend than he already was. The way he spoke in the press conference, he knows money will be spent. Mark says we need 100% first team players immediately, no cheap signings and no loan players. I know.
Did you do that graphic, Daniel?
I've got a feeling that you I did do that graphic, Keith.
Yeah. Why does it look as if he's just climbed out a nuclear waste bucket or something?
Aye, has he just come down from an alien planet or something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
That's Martian O'Neill.
Martian O'Neill phone home.
I'll be honest, when I was doing it, that didn't occur to me, but now I take on board that point.
Just use the glowing finger.
Steady, mate.
I know we've talked about it a lot, the transfers, just to quickly get off my graphic skills. Mick, do you get the impression that Celtic will spend significantly? I mean, they have to, I guess, but do you think they'll do it?
Well, I mean, what do you mean significantly? I think they will spend, yeah. When you look back to kind of last January, the Jota deal was a big deal, albeit the finances of that deal might have been slightly confusing because I think they were still getting paid for the first deal when they sold them. I don't know. But in theory, that's a £10 million investment in the January, albeit that he got injured fairly early on. So, yeah, I think they will. I mean, the thing about Celtic, I mean, a lot of fans and a lot of people are guilty of saying, oh, they've got £77 million in the bank. And they're like, well, no, correction. They did have £77 million in the bank. They've now went and wasted 10, 12, 13 million pound on the summer window. Very few of those signings, if any, have any impact. I mean, the 5 million Balak Wisher, 5 million Tunetke. I think the 1.7 for Negan has been good money, but then look at 1.5 for Shin Yamada, soon not to be seen again. Inamura's already back in Japan. Simpson Pusey on loan, now disappeared already. I mean, they've also lost the £40 million Champions League money that was sitting in front of them, and they now spent probably £5 million plus to recruit and fire a manager in 33 days. I mean, £5 million in 33 days is spent throwing right out the window. So they're throwing good money after bad, and now they're in a situation that they'll have to gamble on investing more to get over the line to get in the title one and a chance at the Champions League, which, by the way, there's a playoff for them next year again. So if you're the Celtic, who have been historically very conservative when it comes to money, having wasted 25 million quid this year already, do you go and spend another 25 million pound, and the prospect to get into a playoff to go in 40? Doesn't sound very Celtic, does it?
No, I know.
But at the same time, I do think they will spend some money because they have to. But I don't think you're going to see 25 million quid slapped on the table.
Come back to Martin O'Neill, and you're right. He just clicked into the exact same mode that he'd been in during the interim spell, which, by the way, lasted longer than the real appointment. But it was just the exact same. He's Jerry Maguire, the master of the living room, in the media situation, controlling everything, way too smart for the likes of us, and being self-deferential and just handling the whole thing. And I get all that, and I think he is. I think that's the way that he handled it last time. I think that's the way that he'll want to handle it this time. But the question I'm going to ask you is, do you expect or anticipate a change? Because I do. I think that the last time was almost a free shot. It was a lap of honour. There was no real exterior pressure on him. I think it was putting plenty on himself, by the way. But he wasn't going to pick up the blame for anything. He was just getting rose petals thrown at his feet. This is different. Yeah. This isn't a short stopgap situation. He is now in charge of Celtic's destiny for the rest of this season. I expect a different Martin O'Neill.
Yeah, I do as well.